All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming out. And I really want to thank our hosts here at Kindred Healthcare. They're not just a great Fortune 500 company, but the way they've stepped up for our community time and time again, and they're an essential part of our lifelong wellness and aging care strategy here in our city, and are just doing a phenomenal job. And you don't have to look very far to see that, because your all's expansion outside here is just tremendous and looking good, and is a great addition to our corporate community here. So let's give a big round of applause to Kindred. They're doing a great job here. So today we're here to celebrate the work that Kindred and over 140 other employers are doing to really embark on a critical mission for us as a community, and that's to open a prosperous future for our young people through our fantastic SummerWorks program. This program continues to get bigger and better every year. When I took office in 2011, we were still in the recession. The federal government had stopped all money going to cities for SummerWorks, but we said we got to start our own program. We all remember how important that first summer job was to us, and when we took it off, so we need to promote that as much as we possibly can in our community. Back then, unemployment was over 10%. Youth unemployment was over 40%. It's a different picture today. Today, our city is booming. Unemployment's down to 3.5%. There's been 61,000 new jobs created. 2,600 new businesses have started as well. We've got $9 billion in capital construction going on in our city right now. So we're at a catalytic point like we've never been at before in the city of Louisville. So that's the big picture. And while the overall picture looks great, we know that we've got a lot of work left to do to make sure that all of our young people have a chance to take advantage of opportunities that our rising economy offers, and learn the value of work as early as they can in their life, and then to bring the value to that work as well. So it's a two-way street that we've created here with SummerWorks. And that's why we've put all this together, and really appreciate the partnership that's come forth from our business and our community leaders to join us in putting even more young people to work. So in 2011, the program's first year, we placed 200 kids in summer jobs. Last year, we employed more than 5,100 youth in our summer jobs program. So that's fantastic progress by any measure, and that growth is one of the reasons why SummerWorks was recognized by the United States Conference of Mayors as one of the nation's best programs of its kind in the nation. And it could not be done with all of us here in this room. And now we've got additional data to show how important this is. According to a study by the Kentucky Center for Education and Workforce Statistics, young people participating in SummerWorks are more likely to stay in the workforce and pursue post-secondary education. So while it might be obvious, the data now shows it. And that's a win for them, for our workforce, and obviously for our economy. So we want to build on that success and create a business culture in Louisville where every employer, large and small, hires or sponsors summer jobs for youth. And our goal for 2017 is to set a new employer participation goal. So think about that. When we talk about culture, what I mean is when we're talking to each other over lunch, or maybe over dinner at a party you're talking to somebody, tell me about your SummerWorks program. Ed Hart's here. 1,400 youth he employs in SummerWorks. Think about that. Ed Hart saying, why aren't you, Mr. So-and-so, what are you doing with SummerWorks? Ed, how'd you do 1,400? So if that becomes the default culture of our city, you'll be able to see that we'll be able to satisfy the needs of many and many of our youth that are working for SummerWorks. So think about how we create that culture, and that's been a great job, man. I want to thank you for the good work out of Kentucky Kingdom. Well played. So we want to just announce a few companies that are already signing on as new for 2017. The local McDonald's franchisees are stepping up for us in a big way. MSD, the Metropolitan Sewer District, has said they want to be part of the program. The Speed Art Museum's involved. The Hyatt Hotel downtown. One of our newest businesses, Coastal Cloud. You see behind me the folks from our public safety team that this will be their second year involved, from LMPD, EMS, fire, et cetera. Now, these are all very different employers. And why that's important is what we try to do is match a young person's interest with their SummerWorks opportunity so that they can say, you know, I thought about getting into hospitality. I worked at the Hyatt, and I found out, you know what, I really like that. Or last year we had an amazing story of a young man that wanted to be a professional firefighter. So he worked with Lake Dreamland in their firefighting operation, learned out that he loved it. The firefighters out there adopted him and have been mentoring him ever since then to get through school so he can get to 18 years old and become a firefighter. So we're looking for that type of matching opportunity to take place. In addition, our current SummerWorks employers are upping their game in a big way. Humana's in the house behind me here with Kevin Stakem. They are planning to double the number of young people they hire this year, just like GE is doing as well. Kindred Healthcare, who's hosting us today, they are upping their program in a significant way this year. And then Kindred is not just doing that, but as I mentioned outside, they're growing their commitment with their expansion here in Louisville as well. So let's do a little case study right now and tell us about the experience Kindred had with SummerWorks last season. So to do that, I'd like to invite Jeff Jasnoff to the podium. Jeff is the Senior VP for Human Resource Operations here at Kindred. Please welcome Jeff.
Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be here today on behalf of Kindred Healthcare to talk about our experience in partnering with the Mayor's SummerWorks program. I want to take this opportunity, first of all, to thank Mayor Fisher for his vision. I'd also like to thank Paul Diaz, Director on our Board of Directors and a former President and Chief Executive Officer for Kindred, for his leadership and support of this program. We are extremely pleased to participate in this initiative. We at Kindred believe engaging with our youth is imperative to our goal of remaining a highly competitive employer of choice and improving diversity in our workplace. The SummerWorks program is unique in that it provides Kindred and other private employers with the chance to connect with our youth in our local community, in many cases before they begin their post-secondary education. Since joining the SummerWorks program last year, Kindred has had the honor of hosting a number of young adults from the area. We plan to take on several more interns through the program during the summer of 2017. Our SummerWorks interns have worked in a variety of areas and practices within our enterprise, including information systems, human resources, legal, marketing and communications, corporate administration, accounts payable, payroll, compliance, and planning and development. What makes the SummerWorks program so exceptional is that it is a rewarding experience for the students who come to work for Kindred, but also for our employees who have the opportunity to work for them. Many of them are here today. The students gain valuable on-the-job experience and early exposure to potential careers that may influence their future educational pursuits. As an employer, we have the opportunity to guide talent into healthcare-related fields, allowing us to cultivate relationships with bright and determined individuals that may one day lead full-time employment. And leaders within our company gain valuable experience recognizing, understanding, and appreciating the differences in their employees. At Kindred, we firmly believe that the experience these students gain during their time with us helps strengthen the future talent pipeline, not only for our organization, but across many industries. Kindred is honored to be part of the SummerWorks program, and we look forward to many more years of working together to nurture the interests and aspirations of our young adults in our community. Once again, I'd like to thank Mayor Fisher and Paul Diaz, as well as all of our manager employees who have worked to make Kindred's program so successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Now I'd like to introduce a young man who was one of Kindred's SummerWorks team members last summer. I had the pleasure of meeting Javon Brown 2 years ago at Cabbage Patch and kind of watched what was going on. I said, this young man not only has a lot of potential, I mean, he's showing it as well. So I'm just delighted to be reacquainted with you again here this morning. Javon was a team leader at Kindred. He's now a sophomore at the University of Kentucky. He's missing a few classes here today so he can exercise his public speaking skills and show us what an executive looks like. So please welcome Javon Brown.
Good afternoon. I am a Central High School graduate of the Law and Government program, and I am a product of hard work, and altruism, something that I was very fortunate to be matched with Kindred because they share the same qualities that I do. Just a few to name. While here at Kindred, I did a number of great things working with my supervisor, Barbara Langford, and Lawrence Nibber. I learned what a certificate of need was, which is a long, drawn-out process to make sure people are taken care of across the country, which is an amazing process. I learned what a letter of intent was, which I wrote a few places across the country. I was a Kindred employee this summer, and I learned a great deal and a lot from the people I worked with. Not only did I learn the skills, but I learned how to treat people, I learned how to manage people, and I learned what a good project manager was. While I was here, I managed 9 other interns. We created a business, a healthcare business, and we presented it to our supervisors. It was an amazing experience, and I think every kid across the country should have Mayor Fisher's SummerWorks program, because I'm sure even if it's in a different place, it's not quite like ours. So I think this is one of the most amazing programs that this city probably will ever see and has ever seen for our youth in this city. And being a youth in this city, I understand what it feels like to not have a program like this. Not only did I grow up in the Cabbage Patch system, but I was fortunate enough to go to college to where I can study things that I love in my trade. I study psychology with a minor in sociology, and I hope one day to become a licensed clinical social worker so I can give back to my community a lot like Mayor Fisher does. And I am Javon Brown. Thank you for having me.
Javon Brown. I got a feeling we'll be hearing more from you. So thank you so much, and thanks to Kindred for making this happen. This is what SummerWorks is all about, is kind of bringing together that kind of interest, and it's amazing that you pointed out what's really the recipe for joy and work is to find a place where you can work, where their corporate values represent your personal values, and then you just put it all to work that way. So great job, Javon. And great job to Central High School as well. Central High School is producing some amazing graduates these days with their various programs. So continue to be on the lookout for the Yellow Jackets. So sometimes people say, look, I want to support SummerWorks, but I'm not an employer. So there's a way that you can help as well. You can still be part of the solution by sponsoring jobs for youths. A donation of $2,500 funds a summer job at a nonprofit organization or city agencies as well. And we've had some tremendous results of young folks participating at these agencies. So there's quite a few donations coming in as well. I'm excited to announce a challenge donation for us as well. This is a donation, and this gentleman and his family has been mentioned here already. Paul Diaz is the past Chief Executive Officer here of Kindred Healthcare. When Paul retired at a young age, I immediately went about to recruiting him to be a champion citizen for Louisville in his newly found spare time. And one of the passions that he has is making sure young people see their potential fulfilled. So he has become our coach to the Kentuckiana Works team, to Michael Gritton and his team, as kind of their advisor, their coach, their mentor on how we can scale the SummerWorks program. When you start a program at 200, think about that in a company perspective as a startup phase. Now with over 5,000, we've got to have maturing processes. We've got to know how to scale this up to 8,000, 10,000, and Paul is bringing his considerable skills to that effort. So we thank him not only for his talents, but I also want to thank Paul and his wife Vicki back here. Through their Diaz Family Foundation, they have made a $250,000 challenge donation to the community for the SummerWorks program. So for me, obviously, that's a family that's walking the talk when it comes to being great citizens. They not only are helping out with their time and talent, but they're also helping out with their wallets. So, Vicki, we really appreciate that. Great job. Now, this year, we're no doubt going to break a record for business participation and further strengthen our public-private partnerships as well. One of the big reasons I'm confident in that is that we're getting a boost from Greater Louisville, Inc., which is really encouraging all of its business members to step up and support us by hiring more youth for summer jobs. So I'm pleased to say that we have GLI's CEO with us here today, President Kent Euler, to tell us more about GLI and SummerWorks. Kent Euler.
So how many of you remember your first time, the first time that you got a paycheck? Yep, thought you would. I remember my first time. I worked for Hardee's. It was my first paycheck job. I was working the fry line back and back. I think they paid me $1.40 an hour. Didn't add up to very much, but it was a paycheck. And on that job, I learned a whole lot. I learned what FICA was. I had no idea what that was. I learned how to show up, punch a clock, work hard. Those are things you don't learn in a classroom. Those are things that you can only learn by working in a real job. And that's what SummerWorks is all about. It's about putting young people in real jobs, letting them have the experience of being on the inside of the workplace to feel the worth of getting a paycheck, maybe a raise, the worth of doing a hard day's work for a hard day's pay. So GLI jumped on this and wants to support the mayor very much. We have 1,500 members of the Greater Louisville Inc., the Chamber of Commerce, and we are challenging all of our members to get on board with SummerWorks. We are getting the word out. We are marketing. So far, we have 24 companies that are members already that are part of the SummerWorks program. We have 6 new companies that we've signed up already this year, and we have 60 more companies that are considering adopting SummerWorks as a program in their organization. So we're working it. So we are going to continue to work this. We have until May to finish it. We think that there is a great opportunity to not only get at least a couple hundred jobs, but maybe several hundred jobs that makes this a very worthwhile program. So I'm up here today because I want to challenge every one of our 1,500 members to learn more about SummerWorks. And when we call you, tell us yes. Hire a SummerWorks kid, hire a Mayor SummerWorks kid. Thank you.
Okay, so great progress by GLI. That's a big part of the strategy of making this part of the culture of our business community. Now let's talk about entrepreneurship a little bit. SummerWorks has been experimenting with how we grow entrepreneurs and startup companies by SummerWork youth in our city now for the past 2 summers. We've made significant progress in this area and are leading the country actually in this effort. So SummerWorks this year will expand its focus on creating job experiences that will build even more entrepreneurial skills in young people. We'll have up to 6 groups of youth to work as a startup company in collaboration with local tech firms and creative agencies this summer. So this is a real special offering for young folks that are saying, I want to figure out how to start my own company. We integrate those with companies that are in that early stage as well. Frequently what happens is the young folks bring their view of technology and community to these companies and really add a lot of value. So they're exciting things to see. That's part of this focus that I talked about of placing students in jobs that match up with what they're learning in school and jobs in the key business sectors that the city is focusing on growing, such as technology, lifelong wellness and aging care, advanced manufacturing, et cetera. So this is part of our whole economic development strategy for our city. So to meet that goal, we have to have a lot of participation and cooperation and really strategic planning, joint development with our partners. And I'm pleased to say that Dr. Hargens and her team at Jefferson County Public Schools are a critical part of that partnership. So Christy Rogers, JCPS's Director of College and Career Readiness, is here to tell us more about that partnership. Christy?
Good morning. On behalf of Dr. Hargens, we would like to congratulate and say we're so proud of you, Javon. We want 100 more, 1,000 more, just like you. And Dr. Hargens is very proud to be your superintendent, and way to go, Central High School. We know the goal last year, 5,000 SummerWorks, but Mayor, we're coming after you because we're anticipating 18,000 JCPS students in career pathways in the 17-18 school year. We're working closely with our industry collaboratives. These are called Talent Development Academies, and we're just fired up that JCPS is going to be economic development. We are the workforce pipeline for the future, and we're fired up about it. Dr. Hargins wants to thank Mayor Fisher and Paul Diaz and Michael Gritton for letting us be this pipeline. We're in tune with the demands of the Louisville area. We're working literally weekly with folks in healthcare, IT, manufacturing, skilled trades, from Ballard High School to PRP. It's so exciting to be at PRP yesterday and talk about putting welding back into their school system. So we're fired up. We're excited. We thank you so much for letting JCPS be your workforce pipeline. We do offer over 70 career pathways, but they've been a little limited in our high schools, and we are expanding those options under the direction of my boss, Tom Hudson. We are college and career ready. We are JCPS, and our kids will be prepared, inspired, and we'll be ready to go. So we're coming at you, 18,000 kiddos, so be ready. Thank you.
All right. I like that. Good job. SummerWorks also has a new partnership this year with a homegrown organization that has been doing great work to empower young people. And if you've worked at all with Louisville's Youth Build, you know what I'm talking about. Just tremendous work in the community over the years of bringing kids back in to their career potential. And we have a new relationship with them this year that will bring added expertise in youth development, especially for those young folks who are at risk and need some help to get recentered. So to learn more about that, I'd like to ask Youth Build's Executive Director, Lynn Rippey, to tell us more about their involvement in SummerWorks. Lynn?
Well, good morning. On this cloudy winter day, summer jobs seem far away, but they are not far away. We're working hard to ensure that all young people in the community get signed up and registered for the summer, especially those young people who are disconnected from the community, larger community. And we want to make sure that we are paying special attention to them this summer. So we're doing a couple of things that are new this year. One thing is, during the winter and spring, we're working with service providers, the school district, churches, to make sure that they understand how to help our young people be job ready. And so if a young person goes to a community center, one of the things we're doing is working with community center staff to ensure that young people understand how to prepare a resume, how to interview, how to really be ready for that job opportunity. We're also working, to make sure that the hundreds of young people that we employ this summer have opportunities to work in projects that are incredibly meaningful. So one of the things that we're doing as a demonstration this summer is to work in project-based teams. So we have offered opportunities, and we received a huge number of applications back, so we're really excited about that. But to work on really important solvable community issues like violence and social isolation and natural sustainability in the community. And those teams will be taking on those issues, developing solutions to the issues, and doing a project that shows that there are ways that we as a community can solve these issues ourselves. They're going to be doing that this summer. And I really want to make sure that before I leave, I want to thank our talented Mayor SummerWorks staff that we've hired for Youth Build, with Youth Build this year, because these guys are the ones doing all the work. So you guys want to raise your hand? Raylene, Reggie, and Emery are working to get the young people into the pipeline for us this year to ensure they're out in the schools with Louisville Education Employment Partnership and Christie's folks to make sure that the kids in the schools all know how they apply for a summer job. They're in community centers. They're out working with kids who are getting ready to re-enter back into the community. So we are really trying to reach as deep as possible to understand and help young people understand how to get involved. So if you have a young person, or if you know a young person, or if there's a young person at your church that's ready to work, and even if they aren't, get them signed up at www.summerworks.org so we can get them in the pipeline for this summer.
Thank you, Lynn. We really appreciate the partnership and support that SummerWorks receives from the Louisville Metro Council. So they are helping us financially with our money as a city as well. So today, representing the Metro Council, we're here in the 4th District. We have a brand new leader here with lots of passion and energy. Please welcome Councilwoman Barbara Sexton Smith.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher. And my first job was selling Fuller Brush door to door, and I was only 13 years old. A lot of things have changed since then. But that explains why last spring I was very comfortable walking door to door and talking with folks for 74 days in a row. But I noticed something. On every other street corner, there would be groups of kids. The kids we're talking about, many of whom. And I would stop and talk with them, and I would say, "So what are y'all doing out here?" And they'd say, "Well, there's nothing to do. We need a job. We want to do what you do." And I'd say, "Well, come on." And they'd walk with me for a while. You spend a few minutes with one of our youth, our young folks in this community, and you'll find out they have hearts of gold, they have determination, and they want to be doing exactly what we're doing someday. They can do that with our help. And then I would get in more serious conversations with some of them, and they would tell me, "Barbara, I'm hurting, I'm hopeless, I'm hungry, and I'm out of options." Well, you guys, I met a young man several years ago, and he was hurting and hopeless and out of options, and he said, "Barbara, my daddy's in prison, and I'm not going there." I said, "Where are you going?" He says, "I'm going to your office." Well, we brought him into the Fund for the Arts. He spent the summer working with us. That young man graduated from college. That young man's going to run the world someday because of folks like us. So together, we'll create a great connected community for all. Let's do this. I walked those neighborhoods in Russell, Portland, Shelby Park, Germantown, Smoketown, you name it, and kids are waiting for us. Cormac said every day, "Send me in, Coach, I'm ready to go." Are you ready to wake up and have a youth in our community say, "Send me in, Coach, I'm ready to go"? Are you? All right, together we can do this. Be a champion, hire a youth. Thank you all very much.
Good job, Councilwoman. All right, so you can see we've got a lot of members on the team here, but the growth and success of SummerWorks is a really strong testament to our business community and Kentuckiana Works, which operates this program. Michael Gritton, their executive director, we started this when it was small, and now we're medium size, and we're going to be getting even bigger. But Michael and his team at Kentuckiana Works have just done a really nice job of pulling all this together, asking for help when they need help, and then leading us and showing us the way. So if everybody here's with Kentuckiana Works and Youth Build, if you all would raise your hands so we could just recognize you all for helping with this program. And great job. It's been wonderful to see how everybody's really helped with this program. Now, in addition to Kindred, I want to just mention a few of our great partners in SummerWorks include Computer Shares, really stepped up as one of our newest companies in town, Glow Touch Technologies, Kentucky Kingdom, I mentioned Ed, Louisville Zoo, Norton Healthcare, the YMCA of Greater Louisville, Thornton's, and UPS. So those are just a few, and there's hundreds more. So we want to add your company to the SummerWorks movement. And it's super easy for both employers and young adults to sign up. It's also easy to make a donation online at our mobile-friendly website. You can check it all out at summerworks.org. So let's make this happen and put more of our young people on the path to a better future for themselves and our city. So thank everybody for coming here today. God bless you all.